much better president than even the first time when I was president. One, because of the experience that I've been president before. And two, because I have had the opportunity to reflect on my period of time as president. And it gives me a focus on the things that we need to do to turn around the fortunes of our country as quickly as possible. I will be a much better president than even the first time when I was president. One, because of the experience that I've been president before. And two, because I have had the opportunity to reflect on my period of time as president. And it gives me a focus on the things that we need to do to turn around the fortunes of our country as quickly as possible. I will be a much better president than even the first time when I was president. One, because of the experience that I've been president before. And two, because I have had the opportunity to reflect on my period of time as president. And it gives me a focus on the things that we need to do to turn around the fortunes of our country as quickly as possible. I will be a much better president than even the first time when I was president. One, because of the experience that I've been president before. And two, because I have had the opportunity to reflect on my period of time as president. And it gives me a focus on the things that we need to do to turn around the fortunes of our country as quickly as possible.
All right, Ebusia for me mamunyina kwa banameka I say so on Facebook. We are live on Freemind Family Ghana or YouTube, so we are live on Freemind Family Ghana. Mestres onya baso send ya da bia mu ye no bo modern na share like send ya bia jumedi ebetimi akonanim. It's as simple as that. Na make I will say akonto na episode 2 dia campaign na me chairman metimi men kan say metimi adi ho adanse ama ya metimi adi ho adanse ama say omo enyu sikani on betimi aboa wo ama watimi akodru ba bia opesa okono Bo Step Travel and Tours. Bo Step Travel and Tours, yes, you on your sika and show boss or America and found to see Kuwait, and I say Jordan, and I say Egypt, and I say Zimbabwe, baby, peso kono. A one on Bebo Modia edu akusi. Intino omo number ni say UK na peso ko say Canada, Europe, baby US na peso kwa omo number ni obetimi afro musisia na woni omo edi. Yenkita hon WhatsApp number no ye plus 49 plus 49 1573 9256 809 and so person free using Ghana line so plus 233 249 745 631 and another line so I will be to me contact you omo ye plus 44791 9292411 and email so ye brace2531@gmail.com. The from CCR na any omo any eye inkita ho na ombetimi aboa ama wakonto dai so no etimi abemu. It's as simple as that. Yentra ntoto yanko be 1 hour bi na yanko mensa kan video bi pese me gina so na me de eka assembly tre Ghana phone team amini kan me play na yemfa ye dwumadie ni nyina SHS so in free honum yentie Bishop Samuel and Mensa.
Hey, the future of this country does not lie in NDC. The future of this country does not lie in NPP. As a matter of fact, they are the troublemakers of this nation. The earlier we get rid of the two, the better it is for this nation. For any human being who has reasoning to be able to say, I am going to fight and kill a neighbor, a friend, because of party politics, there's something wrong with that. They will only visit you and come to your funeral. When your family is mourning for the rest of their life, they have gone. And they are going to chop the nation's money, and you have been foolish enough to kill yourself because of them. May God have mercy on us. We need people, citizens who are thinking about the future of our country, people who are patriotic about this nation, people who want to sacrifice for this nation. So this kind of apathy we also bring to national development is not helping us. Don't be active only during election voting, but be active to make sure that you can contribute to the national development of our nation. We must call for a third force. That is why you should not sit down. I'm praying that God will bring in a mental revolution in this country.
All right, na Bishop Samuel N. Mensah, ne tofano, na semwa ode atudwa nyina kyerɛ sɛ NPP ne NDC entimi emwa Ghana. Na se Ghana ye here what we have been calling a third force. I'll say NPP ne NDC entimi emwa Ghana kwan bia. So Ghana dachi no, and share NDC nsem and share NPP nso nsem. Na se ni Ghana fo here any a third force. Na same way ya can so many times on social media. Me kra na me ka ho ya champion third force of Ghana ha eko ho demonia de third force ka ho asema neutral semnia de. It's nothing new in the ears of the Ghanaian, especially more and more social media and more mainstream media. I think say baby utie bia no say allow silence media or say yan TV the issue of third force no ya kan ama sebi watida mamenkanisa intino it's nothing new to any Ghanaian, especially those who are on social media. Social media. The issue of third force no is nothing new to all of you. Mamenka asem kakre bi emfa ho. And as I say NDC entimi mwa Ghana, NPP so entimi ebwa Ghana dia. Ene mejina so actually Ghana for nyina say ene party bi anywhere ebetimi abwa Ghana. Na the enti America ne sa no mame nchechire mu. Edi enti America ne sa ene say ye ka say NPP ne NDC a ehefo a NPP ni NDC omu free Burkina Faso. NPP ni NDC in free Nigeria. NPP ni NDC in free US. NDC NPP in free Krobia. So NPP NDC eye mo amunemu amo commenti. Mo a monije ni ameye ho. Mo amunemu amo commenti edi matem. Me ameti hei Ghana fo a ewodwum. Ghana fo a ewo social media so eti mainstream media. Ghana fo a ewo Ghana ne empo Ghana fo bi no mu a etu kwan wa abrochiri ye nia na ye form sa NPP ni NDC nti ene say ye kire say NPP ni NDC entimi emwa Ghana dia, then I can say then the nation has no future. Let me go further. Yanti ase say sabi usani America no NPP ni NDC omo ye Ghana fo na NPP NDC ye Ghana fo na munemu ame ose mo commenti ibinum commenti nyansasem ni ade na kire say Ghana fo adwemu ye adwuma na ye nia ena ye form the same NPP NDC edi ena after 67 years of independence still la no yeguso aye kire say NPP ni NDC entimi emwa Ghana na akwakoye say na ye entimi emwa ye ho ana mame nchechiri mu na etie ni e say ye tie ase say anybody who comes into politics apart from say claim say owo manifesto oba be siesie Ghana oba be odi kru no oba chese oba be make sure say o mind betum poni ade no. Anybody who comes into politics equally have their own interest, because say make us say for example presidency na opa presidency no ejuma ye tria neka ejuma it comes with so many added benefits. Ye tonta ade ma wo mo, ye to aduane ma wo mo, ye to petrol ma wo mo, ye to cars ma wo mo, ye mo security ye ma, we give them everything. It is said the pana oba no say mampani kura konwampo na opra ti ase say apart from say ebia all sa da ye so no all sa conviction they say obetimi asiesie Ghana ti monfa Ghana share sa no ono so owo ne personal interest in so the personal interest ne say oba no menua ye betua neka ye be hoho no. We are going to provide security. We are going to provide housing, clothing, can say cars. Adibia we here bia to make their life meaningful. No, we are going to provide each and every one of them. After so no, obese nyeska. Ede ne ma kwa abrochiri. Ato ebia make efie krampo na opo abrochiri a obetimi ato. Eti nipa na opre Ghana konya oba kire say owo manifesto ntimonto ne so aba na omra be di Ghana fo ina ni NCC Ghana aside the national and as national interest na sa nipa ndo ma Ghana fo ina no ono so wo yenka ne say the selfish the personal interest bi o baby ni enti a opre Ghana konya enti se ye de tumi ma nipa no na se nipa ne ba na se nipa ne behu se Ghana for krabu ni mu nyansa me fa 10,000 Ghana cedis ye nka ho asem na emom na yes hailing me on social media se me fa sika eye Ghana for ina dia ebia me kan se be 1 billion ana se 10 billion me fa ebia be $1 million na se Ghana for anko se omode adwuma share me se na me wia omusika nko se omusori tia me na se sa Ghana for na esa sorry for me so dia ene na nipa na otam 1 billion next time no obetimi atam 10 billion enti se nipa no ba na se nipa no se Ghana for do na no nim chese enim nyansa adwe no nya adwuma Ghana for do na no nkwase asem a ne selfish interest and also ne personal interest is going to outweigh the national interest. Because it is within the human DNA to be selfish. It is within the human DNA to take advantage of enkwasiafo. Ewo nipa bia life. Ewo nipa bia mojem. Ewo nipa bia bibia mu se panini ba. Na se panini wo se Ghana for na wodi omoso no yenkwasiafo. Of course, the selfish, the personal interest, is going to outweigh, overshadow the national interest. And only the biggest problem we Ghana for war. And no, any the biggest problem we Ghana for war. Na sa problem se Ghana for solve here. Mo pa me say, monko fa abrofo, monko fa cheddar, monko fa odike, hwan embra. Sa ye Jimmy ne, sa ye nkwasi asem na. Ye didi NPP ne NDC ye chi eno nti no. Yesu se NPP ne NDC entimi emwa Ghana wo kwan bia so no. Ye de sa suban na besa ko rasa third force no. For example, se cheddar eba parliament oni obia ho. Ena Ghana nya autocracy whereby se cheddar ba ono ne be kire na munye se. Ena monko ha na there be eye autocracy. Ghana eye democracy. Enti cheddar ba, cheddar crampo no. Ontimi enye adwuma without the support of parliament. Bill be a cheddar de beba. Policy be a cheddar de babiano. Any loan be obeji biano will have to pass through the floor of parliament. Now, okwa parliament also a. Enya Burkina for ne gu ho. Enya Obrofu ne gu ho. Enya India for ne gu ho. Enya Ghana for kro ya. Enti ene sa ye suban na ye di NPP NDC achi. Enti na ye feel say after all these years NPP ne NDC enti me emmo aye no. Say ye nyai sa suban no entreat sa suban na. Me say mo pa ye fa third for sumra. Yen kofa God ne Gwadis Bank ne ma emra ne nana nom ne nana kanso ani hwa nyina emra ye sa de sa suban na ye de di NPP ne NDC achinti a ye kire se omutimi mu Ghana no ye de sa suban no be say the third force no so achi enkosi aga tie na make ache oni and for example in 2020 Techiman ye boni pa wotwitu Ekufuado ene Bawumia in 2020 ekuni pa wotwe Ekufuado entimi anka ho asem Bawumia so entimi anka ho asem ba enne Bawumia eye campaign no Bawumia timi asa akojina Techiman sa Techiman fo na ye bo nipa wotwitu no omo asa tam steer e de ama Bawumia mo hwa de bi o example in 2008 Techiman ye kuni pa wotwe Ekufuado entimi anka ho asem Bawumia entimi anka ho asem enne in 2024 Bawumia April 2 me no this same Bawumia asa akojina Techiman ama yatam steer dia hye ne nsa esa bose esa boje no so obra ye entimi emisa Bawumia say na 2020 nipa wotwe na okun wo mo no sabi o ede na akosie justice be na serve ede ade na matimi ayede afa ho but rather Bawumia asa abegina yanim Ema sa nipa wotwe na Bawumia ku wo mu no ya togu baabi ena se de yes tie e de hye Bawumia sa esa heli Bawumia ye nkwasi asem we ya ye de NPP ne NDC eche no nti no ye free say omutimi mu aye no say ya ncheje ya dwempo a me say mo pa ye nkofa chedambra odike abrofo hwan mbra ye sa de sa suban na be say rather new force mu enkosi aga because many anum Ghana for yi say new force bi anasa third force bi ba sa third force no enkofa brofo menye adwuma o Ghana how sa third force no enkofa Japan for enkofa America for enkofa India for enkofa Russia for ebefa Asante for Fante for Igbe for Northerners Ghana for kro ya na sa party no will be made of tie na make choni
For example, and the Ghana phone in Empo Ghana near with an atom of sense, Ajia to say. Ye can't remember John Dramani Mahama born homework day within 4 years in our John Dramani Mahama mentioned this born homework day check ufuado. Now so and say yet social media. Can John Dramani Mahama semua. Na omwa ye bre ekufuado aban edi ye wa ye bre no. The same people will come for you edientia. Because ye the emotions, ye tribalism. Any sebi you mean can say ye Jimmy ni ye nkwasi asemo no. Edi nkwafu achi ma empo nkwafu ibu ya kwasia. Nkwafu Jimmy ana ye gusu a ye di omo cha ye support wo. It is handy and me tia me shall say John Dramani Mahama ebo ni homo den chen NPP aban we na wo kire me say an o fioko na time na John Dramani Mahama unya first 4 years no e de no ye na JJ Rollins e de no ye na NDC e de no forgetting the fact say yemfa ni say Mahama wo free say Mahama anya ade enti e na moto abade me akufuado na so na unya bo ohumusuo e kan Mahama ho asempe na obi di watem the same person na no say chadaba say third force be ba na say o Jimmy na say me sabet na haka the same person na be sa chem say o fioko chada dabe no bai chada nye na anu ya na eto abade ma no o sa NPP ne NDC no o ma di Ghana so be 67 years dia na sie leave the third force alone leave one alone chada alone dia men kan ho asem the same people will defend chada and I say the same people are going to defend the third force so now ba Jimmy ayeka ho asem no me say nipa bia say wiase abrabo ya ye boy say obi a onimu nyansa ehu say kwasiampani na odi no so a obeteki kwasiampani no for granted enu nti alasa America sana me chebo say the whole world the easiest nation to govern African nation black nation menka African po mami yi the northern Africa no free mo sub-Saharan Africa the eastern the western and the southern ye ka baby a efo ye ka omanya efo to governor sub-Saharan Africa black nations identia is the only part of the world that's a penny Jimmy Crystal na ye fo so is the only part of the world that's a penny areas campo still na ye fo so is the only part of the world that's a penny edin kwasiasem se penny edi atemo crampo still na ye fo so ene ekufa do ba ye. And someone now in 2016 and in 2020, no, Ekufado has done the opposite. Now, so ne usako biewa no, ekotwe Ekufado video, the chere Ghana for say. Sa sem say Ekufado kan ye, in fear bear 8 years ago. Ekufado ba ye, di ade na watimi aya. Na Ghana for krona ebre na do come for you, do come after you, do come and insult you, do come and tell you foolish things. Now so omu krona na ebre. 80 ye problem no enye NPP ne NDC penifo ye problem no eye yankasa ye subanya ye di edi NPP ne NDC achi tie nya meka cho ni ye problem no enye NPP ne NDC ye problem no eye ye suban ye di edi NPP ne NDC achi to the point they say wa fa party no say work up say na ban ba na se ono ana ban no Jimmy kura ontimi nka onka ho asem unya ko bie wa no ka pe obedi watem etimo pass asoban no ye nyaye a mopa monfa Korea formra monfa cheda mra odikemra ekwiadonko the so called third force for no na embra sa asoban na ye didi NPP ne NDC achinti a emma ye free say NPP ne NDC ebu ye kwasia no ye de sa asoban na be say the third force na chi ma enkosiaga Mesidian enkosiaga yate Ghana ha ena Akufo-Addo commande ehefo se wan sori amitimi chiawo unya Ghana for bi number social media e be defend ye na so swam pass sankofo na e defend no senka ekoye John Dramani Mahama na e boss abra na ka on defend Mahama da anko be di Mahama tem a kire Mahama se omuade tie meka cho ni he eyo man na ye chichire eye Ghana mpunto ni e pre eye Ghana ena ye pese ekonanim enti ene se ye hu se mampani bi ena ebo de homodin na yesansa ye mpena sem ye tribalism emotional sentiment inti ye betwa hye mampani no a kire se ye nto aba e masa mampani na me say mopa ye nkwa abrochire empa Joe Biden achew Putin achew se omra be di Ghana for so ye de Jimmy na be se rema be se enkosi aga ni America utie enkosi aga because NPP ne NDC for na ye ka no e na make sure say ye free Burkina, ye free Japan, ye free India, ye Ghana for kro ya ye te Ghana ne abrochire. Ye Ghana for kro ya a ye te Ghana ene abrochire. Na anu ya na flat efa voter for. Akufo-Addo ko gyan o kire say esan say omo ntu abama nti na ka ense so oba. Ye betena social media ebo Akufo-Addo achi. Ni nyansem aka sa asem na Akufo-Addo kan ye no ka no media house and I say no Ghanaian. So Akufo-Addo asebo so to man no sa suban na Akufo-Addo sa suban na Akufo-Addo ko voter region. Eko down edi no matter your party affiliation. Aka ense se Ghana ni bia support Akufo-Addo. Now so ye ba bonten ebo na chi no ye nya Ghana for binum esa ba bonten be support Akufo-Addo che say oh fio kwana say voter for no so no they deserve it. Mama kan is ha. Anko say enso no kra fa omo no na say sa na omo tie omo nto aba ma NPP nti no enso fa omo a enfa obi aho Ghana for binum ba social media e dan is aso ba we yedi yenti ase say third force on 17 na mo kan free heaven ma free baby ama empo ene say third force ba sa third force no is going to poach people from this same NPP and NDC. They are going to poach people with the same character, with the same behavior, with the same myopic thinking, with the same attitude to form sa third force no. Because in Ghana achemienu anya NPP forget about the small community parties. Sa community parties no, they are only there to use the party to make money for themselves. They are not there to help anybody. They are not there to win power. The CPP, the Kwiadonko, the Hwanhwan, they know say they are not there to win power for anybody. In fact, most of these parties no, they are being sponsored by the same NPP and NDC. Udma make catch on there. Kofi Grante ba bonte make catch Ghana for say. Only the small party for ni na ye meeting say ebeyanka omonka ye humom na ye form a common coalition. CPP anyone why for chere Kofi say hey Kofi hwe unim ne ekoso. Yeah, no, we are not here to fight for any power. We are here to make money out of NPP and NDC. It is our community CPP ne Kwiadonko ne Hwanhwan party no. They are not here to get power to improve on your situation or solve your problem. They are here to make money from this same NPP and DC because they are being sponsored by this same NPP and DC according to their enkofo bi no moka. Enti say third force no crab ba sa third force no enkofo a omo ne ombeye adwuma e Ghana for ya na ye join the NPP and NDC with the same mentality. To the point it says na ban background na say amemo ni nkoyi a ontimi nka obese defend it. Obesa defend say han ene Akufo-Addo no oyo fanka ompe ene Akufo-Addo no oyo fada nka ompe ene Akufo-Addo no oyo branka ompe ene Akufo-Addo no o sebi oyo o fada ba anase make bia o mada na say wo fasi bia nka ompe omo won nsem bia kan isa say Akufo-Addo no o abusuam nka ompe Akufo-Addo no oyo hwanhwan nka ompe the same suban na refi say Akufo-Addo no enya about menua owo we abusuam bia semu enya ba wanyi che obi asemu isaba say obepre adwuma sa yemfa Ghana hye ne nsa yema de ho ban yenhwe no yentua ne ka yema ne yere ho ban ne ma ho ban yema ne air ticket yenya ne den ento jet ma no yemfuo ne ka yenye saa ne ma wanyi na ama no na in return no onfa ye resources no NCC Ghana oba ye wantimi anye unya koboso pe na kwasiam pe ni bi di watamo say oyo father ka ompe oye hwanhwan ka wompe ene buade umuade me say mopa ye ma Akufo-Addo nko na ye ma cheda mbra the same thing say cheda so jimi na say oba bonte be kan the same people na ene defend Akufo-Addo no they are also going to defend cheda it say e drew sa level no na say cheda ehu say 2 minutes de wanya na so Ghana fo jimi nia obeye bia Ghana fo be defend ya cheda emra na oba ye ntia say no matter how rich he is, he also has his own personal interest as to why he wants to be the president. Yes, chada wosika. Wakofa eye seboni jataba Ghana. Wesi da koto eye siru naka abesimu chada wosika hwanhwan. Chada ni sika chi na ade ntie de chada pese oye mampani no. Aside near onu free say or pese or babaya de boa Ghana no. Chada equally has his own personal agenda. He has his own the reason why he wants to be president. He also has his own interest. For example, se cheda ba na se cheda ehu se Ghana for jimia afei embra na oba no na n'ani so ade hu a opese oba besiesie Ghana no the selfish the personal interest no is going to overshadow sa national ani so ade hu no o ti ase pa because nyansani ebu kwasiampani kwasia nyansani ebu jimini kwasia. It happens even among the white people. Anya Ghana nkwa na esi wiase bebia opa kwa America kwa brochire omo enim nyansa no they always use their brain on the fools. And he say ye displace ye Jimmy echempani for say ye nimu nyansa they can do whatever they want. And ekufado ba ye odi mpanimfo atem odi hemfo atem onfa hwe nya hwe watu amna asabio asodan na nka sa asodan na nka chese ono na osie se oba besi no wetimi ansi now so where this car over $58 million and yoma ekufado eye nyina eye opposite of ensemu atime na opri to me or catch Ghana for now so ene opa ma parliament en sha say they want to impeach Ekufuado Ghana for be sorry aye demo achese ye mpene e ma ye ntu Ekufuado ade so ede ntia enye na dwen ne nyansa na odi edi Ekufuado achi eye ono a personal interest eye ono a tribal interest sorry eye ono a Jimmy ne emotions ne nkwasi asem na odi edi Ekufuado achi now so usha UK a say prime minister bi bana say o Jimmy a most of them majority come together and say he must go omo etoma no any omo anto ama no obana so Jimmy a they forget say na me na me to the man no na me na me penasem na me na me lebani na me na there be they all come together majority agree say this prime minister must resign and of course he leaves office now so ene upon near Ekufuado eye na be so pa my parliament and shall say they want to impeach Ekufuado. This same Ghanaians will fight for Ekufuado. This same Ghanaians will defend Ekufuado. This same Ghanaians will tell you say I na edeti na Mahama so anka ye impeach no edeti na Kwame Nkrumah so ye impeach no na Ekufuado nkwa na mpese on say we take a man of some say a personal business be na personal be na as a be bia emotion and na be frachem enti no Ekufuado de men ka ne ho asem me asantini Ekufuado de men ka ne ho asem me hwan ni ye fa man of some say ye personal property ye fa mpanimfo ne say they are our children be na say ye personal be bia ye bo ho ban but these are public servants sorry we forget to say these are public servants who should be held accountable for all their actions and this also by now me say ye didi Ekufuado achi no opa ma chedambra the same thing ma kwesi ado di kembra the same thing it is a penny bi ba na so Jimmy na still ano Ghana for no majority eta na chi a obe say kwasiafo and as a Ghana for Jimmy any sad ya the personal interest no is going to overshadow the national interest for all of you because Oria 10,000 mu defende no Oria 30,000 mu defende no Oria 1 billion mu defende no obe wia 10 billion and 20 billion because if you let people to get away with small things they can do the bigger ones obi di watem wan ka hwe oyo maame wan ka hwe oyo papa wan next time no obedi onana bi atem because we do atem ba ko mienu miensa e your normal ma and I say atenye na o di no e your normal nti no sa no obe go the extra mile e di afi wonana council amu nyina atem this is how the world operates eti politics na ye ka ho asem no sabi eye nipa ho adwuma eye mo ho adwuma na empanimfo ne ye eye mo ho adwuma na NPP eba beye eye mo ho adwuma na NDC eba beye nti omo ba na se omo hu se Jimmy a they will take advantage for example ene tema utumi ya tam yenso ne yensase nyina ahye ne nsa a otu ba ene opa brabonte beka ne ho asem asandefo bi no be sorry e defend eye chairman wuntubi on fa hu se ni so na yesen no on fa hu se ne nsase na yesen obesa babonten asa defend chairman wuntubi edientia ai chairman wuntubi no oye NPP ni ntina mo kanisa oye asantini ntina mo kanisa oye hwan edientia ye fa amanyo sem ne se ye personal property. Now every leader that you see today, be John Mahama, Bawumia, they are all looking for job, juma, employment. Sanya onam enkofamanso, onam Japan, onam Burkina, onam Tanzania, onam USA air prejuman. The same thing. And as some penny for when so air prejuma or Ghana. Period. Ewiase obi antiase say eya periapere obi a fight for ono anso ne ho kakra. Se nipa na odwen Ghana ho no so e wo say odwen ono so ne ho. Eti nipa no tumi na ope no ono so pe say odi ye enti na ope tumi. O te masie. Tumi na nipa no pe no ono so pe say de odi ye enti na ope tumi nto oba. Na so hu say mu amoto abane de ma no mo jimi o che say suban ya order na de ni sebe emu asem ya oye na echi mo nka ho asem a they are going to do more than that. They are going to do more than that. Enti ni anko say Ghana for ye nyina ni nka ye to abawi a efri ho kono ko say ye di amanyo sem ni ye party sem ne to nchen na ka ye nyina ye coming together efforts ya aban to do the right thing. This is what Ghanaians are supposed to do. The moment we finish voting, so now to my NPP, so now to my NDC, a free hawk corner, a interesting tea and an ipano yamano 4 more years. Because the interest of NPP is the same as the interest of NDC supporters. Sagana fona edi NDC echi. Netia omudi NDC echi. The same thing. And as our fono so edi NPP echi no, they have the same mentality. Eden amope, eya kwai, eyensuo, a better Ghana. So pe Kufuadu asem, so pe NDC asem, so pe NPP asem. Eden amo painting na budi sa party echi. Eye se mo pese sa party mienu we. Eye ene pade mamo. Eni se ye kokopre eto abawia efri wokono ko se NPP ne NDC fo nyina Ghana fo nyina ye kan ye ho bom. Of course, ye nya the majority ye nya everybody. Mamenka ni sa. Now so eba se ye konya majority a ebeboa se sa majority no ye kan ye ho abom ye force John Dramani Mahama ye force Bawumia ama ne boshe na o share ye no watimi aye because sa boshe no otimi ya emfa NDC ho na emfa NPP ho. Every Ghanaian will benefit. This is how we are supposed to behave. This is how we are supposed to approach politics. Say ye to abawia a free work on ko say ye di ye party sebono to nchen nanka ye force mampani kura waba no say on siesie man no ne boshe na wo hye oni so na Ghana fo nyanya so mfaso na so e de bi da opa ma yento aba enwie ende ade chin ya na we go back to play politics. Obinya ko bo hwan spe ni sorry and I fioko and I am so and I say and I Jimmy and I mama and I say ka o father bo branka on social media enkasa o father bo bra kanya ne sanka uti social media enkasa. Of course sa o che me say me father enwi ade enti a bo bra enu nti na me ti social media enkasa dia ene ekufa don so o bo bra ma ne ba enu nti na o wia musika enu nti na o di matem no enu nti na o di musika e hwe na busua se na be ya daache bi monka sanso enche ne ba na ka se empanifo na jimi sani amonam social media edi matem say some of you me father amo branti nene meti social media me te so no the same thing ena ekufa don so se ono so no wanwia musika amfa nsiesie ne ma amfa create a dynasty ama na busuafo adaache bi nso no mokro ya be said ni matem say mo father be di mampani wa mo bra bia no ti nene mo bre no enti yesuban ene ye ne ye de we a yesi dwe no eno na mpanimfo na hunti na mpanimfo no binom edi abro no enya about third force bi asem enya about cheda bi a oba bi asem enya about obi eye yesuban ene ye Jimmy na ye de nam eye amanyo semu no eno nti na ye mpanimfo no take us for granted eno nti ye mpanimfo binom emuye no eno nti ye mpanimfo binom bu ye say ye nkwasiafo because ene obi ababenya public resources wato fi Orlando ache Ghana airport e dia manima menya koka ho asempe na kwasiampa ni bi chede o fioko wanim tantan o madam obra o father amobra no ntina na o kasa entene ono so anya tumi a obobra nya sa na mo pe no obobra o sisi adan no bi todo sane be ya da che sane amudi matem no muni ono so ne matem Kwame ababio enti until say Ghana for betia say the reason why we vote until say ye betia amanyo semwase until say ye betia say we are supposed to hold our leaders accountable. Me say hey we are den opa yenkofa Yesu kra medi Ghana so enko ye da because nipa ne ba na se nipa no hu se wa jimi a empo in marriages I will say of course oba bre ne ho asema bema I believe in that thought sana nature ye no even our remu cramp no I will say oba e bre ne ho asema bema na so oba o ware na se on se ye wa ahobrase eni jimi ahobrase amuro so ejimi etu ware ne mpo ma wa ahobrase no beda ne jimi a bema oni mu nyansa obeteki advantage of you ni ameka mo follow me o say oba bia bre ne ho asema ne kunu empo mu a moko asori di Bible achi this is what the Bible instructs now so ko bre wo ho asema ne beda ne jimi sempo ye bo kra na otimu na wusu ena ho a bema na ofa usa no will take advantage of you enti yo minia yo jimi ne wa ahobrase it is a empanimfo ne ba na se empanimfo se Ghana fo no ejimi Ghana fo no ebre ye ho ase jimi kwan so to the stand say me di omo abrompo na ye defend me asa pani no obekoso bu kwasia because onimusa ma jimi enye sa ka di enti na after 8 years ni ekufado na wa ma bran esa che Ghana for se me kono Bawumia na on sa me di muso edi enti a wa fa Ghana for se ma jimi wa fa Ghana for se mo ye kwasiafo eno ne ye problem sa ye enti amanyo se mo ase ye the tribal sentiments emotional background na ewura politics mu enti empanifo ne ba they take us for granted now free say jimia ene mampane Akufo-Addo order na di eche Ghana for no senka Akufo-Addo ekoye America mampane asa jimi no ka onna na di ensemu a chema wutumi etimika ensemu a Bawumia etimika senka sankofo yi na akoye America mpanimfo a anka omutimi mmosa abra na ene omuti Ghana ebo no ejentia omubu America for ne say omudie omunimu nyansa eba Ghana for dia omuye kwasiafo na office say ne Bawumia etimi jansi bi so kire Ghana for say ye besi toilet amamo no senka Bawumia ekoye America mampani anka ontimi enka ncha America for say ye besi tiefi amamo da bi nko ontimi nka na so Ghana de oka oria ya said defending na say Bawumia no o si tiefi na da tiefi no onni na da Bawumia no de no aye Mahama mreso no de no ye on tantan na wo kasa ya fa ne personal now so enkwaza semo ne Bawumia edidimo Akufo-Addo edidimo no ekoye America sa jimi no anka on fa ni omo ejentia omo nim sa Ghana for dodo na no ye kwasiafo madwim oha eno ne problem no enye the need for any third force to be asem ewiase every democracy be two parties na ireni sa same we open fa pejai ewiase every democracy be two parties na e control oko UK Labour Conservatives oko USA Democrats Republicans mo dia de se munsua nyansa and begin to hold them accountable omu jimia voice it out omu jimia vote against them omu jimia hold them accountable. This is how we are supposed to approach politics. Penny bi ba ye tuanika. Penny bi ba ye ne afidi no. Ye na ye hwe na busia enti ene Akufo-Addo ye na ye hwe ne yire ne ma na busiafo nyina. Cars na ode ko ban na ye na ye tua ho ka. It penny no came for employment. Employment in Ojimia. Let us be bold enough to talk. Anya sa dia me I will never support any foolish third force in this country. Jimmy Sem because enkosiaga because third force na Basani Americano the same Jimmy for na third force no SAB yuso brana men share wade for example yen share sa video we yen share sa video we na men ka se mi kiro for example yen share sa video we
ya Ghana mpanyifo ye kan na ye se ye boa ye youth na ye kasa na ye boa hwe school pa enkwala tim school hwe onwakonya ni o nkonya nkwala tim hu ni a omudi ko school hwe ade a mko nsu ogum a monum o school mo he eno ani o Ghana mpanyifo school e wo STK which is Solar Tuna Kalba district hwe ye frɛ ha Pinvro.
Thank you Obi Akamekura. Let me chip this in before I continue. For example, Ekwanya America for is treaty China for Ekwanya America for is treaty UK for Ekwanya America for is treaty Japan and South Korea for and yet the same kwina na ye Ghana for kwa de omu treaty yen omu treaty Saudi Arabia for special ye treaty Japan for special ye treaty one a deity na Ghana phone kwan ye treaty yes we are some foolish fools because America for to me cause Saudi and country mu say mo ani moto a say ni beto mo there bi now so omba Ghana kasa asem ne kiremo e deity a oma hu say Ghana for de magimi sa na mpanimfo ne say famo ti na make actually say ni America for to me country China for say China for anyi trumu antumu a say ni beto wo mo no the same subaina na yempani fondi yen. Na so Ghana had somebody bia. Eche Ghana say I Ghana de. Se mo anyi antuma say ya na ebeyam edi entia. Ye bu musamu yen kwasiafo amadwimo ha. It is sa na mpani fo nsusia. Sa na mpani fo ni twiti yen. Sa na mpani fo no fa Ghana fo say Ghana fo adwimo ha. Ghana de o ejimi fo ho. We down mo. Ni abeye bia o makasa ebe 1 week pe ifri ono bi ato atwa etu be ye Ghana mpani ani ape bia ye. Enko ba bia hu Ghana dey say Jimmy for nti master oba no he make sure say 4 years na obenya what of fie be bielu America wasesa wabusuafo nyina akogwa abruchire what of ka sagu fie be 10 bi why hwan ne de the same thing eti ono kra oba no ne maame na busuafo e kire ne say oba no make sure say 4 years pe na obenya wanya ho nyina awie eno ne afutuo na ye de ma John Kumanti oba ya na owi ansase no na oje nkofo ansase because ne maame ka chene se oba no John Ghana ha de me oba me mama you adwen se obo o ayi chese o na obo ba be change Ghana fo there bi na de Kwame Nkrumah de ay example se ure afia me kai o ma me sa me na mi so Kwame Nkrumah ba ye ne obeye de bo Ghana nyina achi no yetuni ayaya sa di na tem enti wo de oba no make sure say wabua wabusuafo nyina ansa na 4 years na so because ekoba say 4 years no so na say yanto aba ma na say ebia sambre no untumi si dan ento ka bia sa Ghana for na uku homa o mu na be say do atem say wa ambo bra bia enti uba no make sure say ube wia sika no bia ansa na ombra so we ni afutu a Ghana fa for ne Ghana for mpanifo de ma Ghana mpanifo enti oba no ne selfish interest no e na odeba osaba ebe hu say Ghana for so enkwasiafo make say obi say defend Ekufuado wa bobo krono because oni musa krono na chi na enko ba bia enkwasiafo agimi for be say defend no. That is how they take you. The senia empo America ni UK for ebu enkofo binum chen ye the same thing. Na ye mpani for so bu musa bu agimi for enkwasiafo. Iti yankasa ye suban ye ne ye na ema ye mpani for e treat ye sa. Enye obia enye third force obia se eye nia. Yanto aso.
School ni o school enyini pa o. School enyi hwe ene kwa mu PTA meeting. Wala ma me course anko another class. Ehu Ghana mpanyifo ehu nkola we. Enti ye hwe o ma da ache se ni. Nkola we ye hwe da ache o mo da ache pa se ni nkola bi se. Nkonya mo te so o me de nkora atwere. Nkola we o me de atwere. Nkwa umede atwere umede mpa atwere school em school enya agro bi na edi me kwa another class wo de mbehu class ni nyina asi sa class na me ka no oho P6 no P6 class na medi kan wura mu no sisi a me sa be wura P5 me be wura ya another class hwe nkwala mu bua ye Ghana emobo hwe nkwala pa mu bu nkonya ihu so nkonya blocks nkonya Ghana mpanyifo NPP NDC blocks na nkonya o naso hwe ye was akuku damamo o maimu ha nkwala nkwala te ho sometimes me ka o ma yimu aya na embimu say politics na me enya politics o me nya politics hwe nkwala we pa o moda achi ye hwe ni se ni nkwala titi konya ayiwe na o me de nkwala atwere ento mu di chicha ni bia ba na ncha na adwane
ejere on se omo a ye kasa sa video we nyina on se we nyina esi under Ekufuado na so esan se onimu se onyabo Ekufuado nko adi a Ghana for bi no bedi na temo se oye politics nti na waka NPP ne NDC na afra because onimu se okobo Ekufuado nko adi a ye bedi na tem ena die nti ena Ekufuado bre so nkwa na wo kasa ena die nti ena Bawumia so nkwa na wo kasa nti no bebrena. That is how they hide from criticism. Etuba na se so babonte be video a ka NPP ne NDC na afra. That has been the trick. Sa on pese Ghana fo be di watemo dia ne be o dia blame me eye NPP ne na so no kura no ho yentime nka. Now after video we make sure what bi. We Ghana o. Ghana basic cyto school na me yichira wo no. We nya Burundi. We nya Cambodia. We ye Ghana. Na ye wie na me ka se me chira wo. Ne ntia we nyina AC. Ye complete video no.
Ayi je so mo akukuduro ne. Etimbe chira de wa ha. Oh, mobo papa. O my pay for in fact STK ye critics are district way anyini ye. Anso hwe. Enyini da. Omuntimi ntonkonya. Enti mpanyifo ni saa ye friends district mu a mo hu school de ekoi. Oya ma me ko ba bia PTA meeting for no me ko twa mo kakra. Ho me nkasa. Nkonya mo to ye bench. Omo di fifie e na baaye. School no office, me be office. Me be school no office. Yeah. Office new. No door. School no office no door. Door be any. Kunu bia na no. Marua door. Marua office any. Konya bia nsia. Aponche kwa na gina mu aponche. Aponche kwa gina office. Aponche gina office. STK. Ya district ni dia ko ni o.
Ghana ni enkwada ete bo so na yesua de enkwada te blocks so na yesua de na so ya American obi betena baabi edi matem edi entia ekufa do mre so nti na American na ban wo so American ti obedi matem Bawumia April to me we ya meye ekotia Bawumia nti obedi matem se ma jinya me ni mu nyansa ai na den Mahama embrace no na enkwada no so no na ehemfa ne enkwada no eye tie ko school ena kufa do mreso nkwada makasa ena hwan oh ya fa amano semo no personal eno ne ye problem now so sabe chao say sadie we nyina Mahama ka ho asem you not believe it obedi matem of course ena ofioko ena Mahama mreso no ede no yeye na so we nyina Mahama ka ho asem tie na ye ntie Mahama addressed all these issues. Tie na yentie. Na so make esan say na ban na wakonya so nti owia was a kire say NPP ne NDC epe na ye third force. The same people na enem wa edi matem no omo na esa call for third force. Me say third force no kra ebampo a enkosi aga because Ghana for yesu ban the way I see efa amanyo sebo no eye jimi kwa so de efa no. It is na make say na ban and the Ghana Bayamunti, and as a party, and the Ghana Bayamunti, obey defended Eddie Matem, defended the very people who are wrecking their lives, who are wrecking their nation. The very people who are stealing from them, they'll defend them and bash me. Now, so many obiato, me ametie, levy, and yamina me de baye, me control Ghana, mugo da mutui, min tubi, mukoko, men sa nimbi, mubi bia yakosubia, men sa nim, now so me America, Samechema Jesse, ye ni sebo mua, and Kabebua, obedi Matem. E defend omo a yesa yensu omo a yesa yensase omo a area oman no omo a omo jimi nti enkwadate ebo so sua they are going to defend those people and come after me edi ntia adwen na ye di nkofu achi no na enye adwen no na enye saade we John Dramani Mahama e ka ho asem ne mre so e ma ye di Mahama atem ka fo kire Mahama me kan we ya kwase ampani bi be kire say han and you have been biased and Mahama no what did he do now so Kumase nko Asante region kwa Mahama AC e blocks nko 13 sa su kwa dan na Mahama AC no was to address all these problems Mahama na ka ho asem ye mara yentie sem John Dramani Mahama kan listen to Mahama attentively why yentie sem John Dramani Mahama ka fast adewe yentie Mahama.
You come to the secondary level is even though the constitution says we should do it progressively, I'll do it in 3 years. And that is the issue that we're pointing at. If you have a leg, the thigh is supposed to be bigger than the calf. If the calf becomes bigger than the thigh, then it means there's sickness in the leg. Because if you are spending most of your money on secondary education and less on tertiary and basic, then there's something wrong with your educational system.
Also, first point, John Dramani Mahama can say, if you are spending so much money on secondary education and you are leaving the basic and tertiary, then there is a problem. We your first point, Mahama Ebeki. Mahama Chair say, Edienti, and I hear Tam Ghana for now resources. And they acquire free senior high school system. Or bra, the basic level no and kwadano be etin riasi. Why don't we solve those problems first? And I say, why can't we solve that problem first? And then Ghana say, Yenyeska, yani don't kobi. Free SHS, obian kobi. How kobi? The rich and the poor, obian fanima enko school free. Omwa empo, ye ja omwa. Ombetimetria school fees ama ye money na yemfa ye ma enko school free na aban entriaka. Ye chosi car, ekufo do aban minia spending on some free nyoma we ya. You not believe it. Mahama ka say eti na seska no yemfa solve ye basic problem no first. Because Ghana ha no say about the basic level most of you prefer the so-called private schools, preparatory schools. Eba Saito di amompe edientia because Saito no yebuni say education is low quality. Eti Mahama ka say then sasika no let us improve on the Saito by building school blocks, by making sure that they have everything that they need to learn. Sane be ya emre be dru na say ehun be hia say e wo say ye ma Bediako school free asambre no na ye dey can solve the underlying problem awie. Eti Mahama ka say yensi abotre na for now there sa SHS no we can give the free to the needy, the poor people, those who actually need it. And no na Mahama chair say free progressive no na John Dramani Mahama chair say yam fama omu a ehiansa yenya nia ehiansa na ya nia den efata. Eti Mahama ka say yeni kan yemfa ema omu a ampa omu hiansa na sika na ebeka no yemfa nsiesie the basic level. Eman kwada entna ebo so nsua de. Eman kwada entna famu nsua de. Eman kwada sabi entna emfutro mu empocheda mu nsua de. Yemfa sika no ensiesie the basic level ansana. SHS no ya pene se obianko be free. Mahama kan we ya antiase o ye tiase mpo a esan se na yenti na cheze yenye yadwe say ye ti Mahama asinti yetna Ghana ha edi Mahama atem na se wi a ya sa call for a third force na sa third force na eba no e de asoaba fo na eba be gavin Ghana na se Russia fo na se Japan fo enya Ghana fo kro ya enya ajibi fo ya ene di akire enyo mu a meka no kra ye di matemu ya ene di akire e ya bofo obofre he na eba enya Ghana fo kro ya enya Jimmy for Kroya, and the bedi actually. Yan can no crancher Ghana for no credit ye. Mahama can was him. Man toss na ye.
So the government has budgeted 2 billion cedis for free SHS for this academic year. If you have 2 billion more to spend on education, will you spend all of it on free SHS so that even when people can afford to pay, they don't have to pay? Because today there's no system where if my child goes to a public secondary school and I can afford to pay, there's no system for me to pay.
So Mahama ka say na yama secondary school no aye in such a way say esikafu empo they can afford to pay school fees for their children are all telling the government to pay their school fees for them. Or the government is saying, I'm going to pay for all of them. Now so Ghana ha, ye weskafuo. Says kafuo no, they can afford to pay school fees and can ye quote can ye shet. Eti Mahama ka say, yenye system no in such a way say Ghana ha, free senior high school no, yemfa emma only those who qualify for it. So you are from a poor family. O father bia koko krachi. O mother edua banche. O father kabanku hwan onisika or de hwewa. You can apply and the government to award you the free SHS system. O kwa broche nyina sa na ti o to. Bill Gates ba onko school for free. Elon Musk ba onko school for free. Dagonte ba you say Dagoto say Dagonte Nigeria ni ba onko school free. Esika former enko school free wa brochire. Omutua na senska no aban no de aboa ehiafo no. Eti Mahama ka say ema ye such a system whereby just above the rich and the poor are all enjoying the free services. There be the rich, they have money. Let them pay to support the poor. This is an intelligent leader who sees into the future. Mekan we ya na kwase yampani bia ompe Mahama asem wo hu se no kranie na so na woto e na yampani bia NPP NDC o ma disappointing yen and a third force. So the same people who are calling for third force are the same people who are insulting me in the comments. They are the ones who are calling for third force. It was a third force no ba na say omu jimi na me saka. The same people will come after me. It will bring us to square one. The same problem that we have been fighting for all these years. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. Obisi Empo, over America, public school, no, you have to apply for free lunch. That is how it is done in the advanced nations. Say, despite it, yes, say, Sana, he knows why. On tria fees because they can afford to pay. Chada nema because say chada wosika de kra jatane se baba Ghana dia sabio o ma school fees na wontimi ntua. Obi a what you have enough money to buy Bugatti and Ferrari and build mansions and go and buy car from Sirona and even go and bring jatane sebo to Ghana. O ma school fees na wontimi ntua. You can pay. Now, so when chada money na they are going to school for free. Eti Mahama kasa says kano sabi you yemma esikafo ni ntua na yemfa esikafo ni sika no bi emfa hwe hiafo no. Because for example, say obi tua school fees be per child, o tua ebia be 1,000 cedis per term wa. Sa 1,000 cedis no, ye betimi up on home 5, ye betimi up on home 500. E dia hwe obi a ne maame anasa ne father eye hiani. Sanebeya emmo abanka. Sanebeya emma aban budget no enko through too high na yam borrow emfa beshim. Nyansa bia mbem. Eti Mahama ka ho asem. Say scanning na no. Let us first of all improve on the basic level because ehwo ni nkoye. Adan na enkwada mu no enkoye. And economic region. There are so many children who are still learning under trees. Omotebuoso. Yanim ponchi ne sua de me say ade beche. If they go to school, ombekona emponchi bini emponchi jonso nyina on the table. And them will now born emponchi jonso kan. Mahama ka say says kana ye dey say at the secondary level no. Yemfa sika no, let us improve at the basic level. Enyansa. Enya about third force to be asem na da bio we ye nyansa yanwene nkwachire sa third force na eba enkofa America for me rule Ghana for ya agimi fo ya eyomo a ye kire se me de so de aponche kura be gina kumase a meto abadia ma ponche no sa for na esa for me the third force enkosi aga yeah mobu. It is a third force, no. Benyam Fasua. I was saying we must first of all decolonize the mentality, political decolonization of the brain of these people to understand the reason why they vote. And son a third force, no empo, possible la etimia ye juma. Anyasa it will follow the same thing. Enkosiaga. Omu Jimmy now can. You say the watem. Enkosiaga. And are fighting for freedom. Enkosiaga. Say yen Ghana for no kosu Jimmy say ya me see enkosiaga. It when you na Mahama addressed all this issue. Enkwada etibwo so sua de. Enkwada eni eye sukunta de. Enkwada eni book ye de sua de. Enkwada hwan omuti ndia se sua de nyina no. John Dramani Mahama eka ho asem. Akrapori, thank you so much. John Dramani Mahama eka ho asem. Mahama we ya make us say kebia me ba ye and kebia me di me trimu na eka hey chairman no o de Mahama na penasem be play video na de a kirew we are making me play Mahama enum nsem na akyerɛw me ntwantro kyerɛw atani ebe ne wom aboa kwasea be ne wom wanim tantan be ne wom on tantan be ne wom no krada me de kyerɛw atani ni free hefa because of ya gin a e dai tremu na ye di atem rough e kan fo rough because or the emotions and e di nkofu achi now nkofu they are government employees. The president is a government employee. In fact, the president is a civil servant. The president is a civil servant. Mampani, Nabedi, all the ministers, they are all government employees who should be held accountable no matter who they are. Or NDC ni, or NPP ni, we must hold them accountable for the benefit of the nation. Now, so the Yampani sao, Esan Jimini Kwanasamutunya Kobone so pay. Edietina. Mahama Mahama mreso die na monkasa na Akufo-Addo mreso nkwa na mokasa. There is always a time to start something. Because ye shall say Mahama mreso anke bia NDC for binom so beka say idea tina Kofo mreso so man shase. So there should always be a time to start or begin something. Ya dwin no nya adwuma. Jimi na high na third force bi asem. Your problem no enye the need for third force. Your problem no is a mental problem. Yema Mahama Ntuaso.
And so that ad hoc approach to education is something that is dangerous because in education there are three most important things. The first and most important is quality. What is the use of education if the quality is poor? Why is it that at the basic level every parent struggles to take his child to a private school? Because nobody wants their child to go to Saito.
What's that? Mahama ka say ADNT and eba at the secondary level there. Ghana Ghana ufo nyina yempe the private ones. So most study Ghana education here. Eba to the senior high school level na yempe the private ones. Yepe Wegehe. Yepe Accra Academy, yepe Prempeh College, yepe Accra Girls, yepe Legon Presec, yepe your friends say Queenas, right? Aquinas, yepe Opokuwari. We want the private ones. We don't want we want the public ones and not the private. Now, back to the basic level, dear Obia and Pestaito, yepe private. Why? It tells you say already no. The secondary level no is much better than the basic level. Tie. Mahama Kase. About to the senior high school, the Ghana Fawfo they prefer the government schools. Now so about to the public, the basic level there, they prefer the private and not the government. And not check Ghana for say already no. The secondary level no is much better than the basic level. Intende say yenyeske bi say ye de kwakwaye free senior high school ama obia at the secondary level. Why don't we limit it and use some of the money to improve on the basic level? Na saa de we ya nkwada te bo so sua de yenyi saa de ni free ho. Saa de we ya nkwada binom eti enduase sua de no yenyi saa de ni free ho na yemma se be sanity ahonidi emma to the basic level. Mahama Kaweya, yetna Ghana edi Mahama atem. Say edia bone ena Mahama ye say all che Ghana for say sa free na ye de ko secondary level yente so na ye mfa sika no bi ensiesie the basic level. Bone ba ne wom. Sabi ayembia enye nyansa na Mahama kan ye no. Scientists can so na ye mfa sika no bi and solve it to the problem or see to the problem at the basic level. Na basic level no a dear problem na enkwadane na musuku adan number 1 enkwadane nta ade kra nkoye daxa enkwadano etiso ayesua de enkoye blackboard ni ade na enkoye. Let us use the money to improve on the basic level. Said the Ghana for or prefer to take their children to Saito at the basic level or mudu secondary so I do prefer to take their children to the government senior high schools. This was the mentality, this was the intelligence of John Dramani Mahama. Now, so Yanti Mahama's edientia, ya draina ya di edi sanko fuechi, ya draina ya di edi penifrechin, and my intimate because ya fan penifoni work up. Obi di Mahama chia, wafa Mahama se, Mahama ya the personal property. Obi di ekufa don swechia, anase Bawumia sunchia. Wafa Bawumia se Bawumia or ya the personal property. It is a Bawumia cry Jimmy Cra now will defend Bawumia and only a problem. And only a problem. Now so Mahama nyawodia. Bawumia, these are job seekers. Mahama is a job seeker. Bawumia is a job seeker. They are looking for job. Hey, baby. They are looking for job. They want employment. So when you employ them, you hold them accountable. What be a Juma Ghana? What you abrochire? What the camera? See, Juma mu na abrochire crowd. You are monitoring their every movement in Ghana. Now so you abrochire. Now so a Juma na be Ghana. You have put on cameras everywhere. What you abrochire crowd? You see what goes on. You want to hold your workers accountable. It's the same thing. Let us hold our leaders accountable and stop playing the fool. As you play the fool, yeah. As that's not how say. Dear, NDC NPP to be more Ghana for third force on the penna, third force the Nkra. Third force if Japan. Third force if Nigeria, if Burkina, any Ghana for Korea, and the same you for ya as on the for ya. And the same you for ya, vote for ya. And then for me, the third force was the if we never, if we Ghana here. Let us stop playing the fool. Let us understand the reason why we vote as a people. It's very important. Now, yes, I'm going to defend it, no. And then what you Ghana say Chada neighbor. Chada, a dear track record in the war. Chada no. Someone changing Musuban crampona and po Chada bar. Now, someone the Suban way edit Chada chia on performing. Because Chada, the trim banner there. See. Wuni mu se ni American se wa Jimmy a onti masie da ibi empo krampo no enkwada omu a ewo nkwada ekrokro enkwada too much no enkwada no enyi be ye nkwasiafo omu a discipline nkwada no enkwada no nyi be ye sound minded adults but those who over pamper children ade bia akwada ni pe bia age unya don saka kwadan pay na debi na me ba na you say omo they over pamper children. Those children, they grow to be foolish. The same way, if you over pamper a president, he will become foolish. Ntene ekufado no e ya krokro ado show boy ado gagai e money din hey debi on say the kind of heater ye de gu Mahama so ka ho bi na e ma Mahama etime dwen ye ana woni mu ana. For example, Emra Dum Sobaye, the kind of the Mua ye ne Ghana ha, the kind of heater Ghana for the good Mahama so kahumbi, and a Mahama crab planting no best of you dum so. A kufado dum sobaye, yet a Ghana say a dark and lovely. Now say ya say NPP NDC Mua Ghana to ye third force. Ha? Obra Mahama breso dum so mu ye den ye de pressure egu Mahama so di Mahama tam ye demotia Mahama eno ka ho bi na ema Mahama edwen out of the box ekra plant no ba Ghana e de solve dum so now so ene under ekufa dum so ba ye krokro no eno tina eye ono ani minister napo e be ka kire mu say so here timetable la go and bring your own timetable e dey tia they know. Said no matter what they do, you defend them. Omu Yahweh. Omu ni mu say, no matter what they do, you will defend them. Ye kromo. Eku faro de ye nkasentia no ye ni natem. Under John Dramani Mahama, aten ye bia di wa ye ni Mahama. Ye di Mahama tem friend say Mahama etan ya boa. Mahama mfa na sem bia na so ene under eku faro onya kasetia no pena, they will come after you. And I'm penny, and I didn't attempt, and I'm wadi and I sebi. Mahama de na oyodwan. Mahama de na onyanipa. Ye subai wenti na omani say, ye subai wenti na empenny for no, they are taking us for granted. And the need for any third force. And yet the need for any third force. Because NPP and NDC, they are never the same. These are two parties are every to me. It once are only rivals, you know, they can never have the same ideology. They can never have the same mentality. And then Russia and America and Japan, because Russia and America, they are rivals. And people who are rivals can never ever be the same, because each one of them wants to have an edge over the other. Each one of them wants to have an upper hand over the other to win votes. It's people who are rivals, you know, they can never ever be the same. Never. Me no na ye pray. Na me dan wa ye pe. Ghana konwa me no na ye pray ho. Na me dan wa ye pe. Because obia pe say obo ne homodin a we ni Ghana for akoma na Ghana for the 2 million shobonsa. So how can they be the same? Omo ye pe dia, then there will be no reason to vote, because omo na ye pe and ye to aba dia ye den. Omo nye penti na ye to aba eyi emu nyansani. What you say fa omo nye penti e na me no mienu eto aba eyi emu papa emu nyansani se omra me di anim. Therefore they are not the same. Sanya America and Russia and Japan the same thing. And NPP and NDC so they all have their party principles. Their party principles are not the same. Their leadership is not the same. The way they go about their campaign is not even the same. So how can they be the same? And I say, after all these years, you know, NPP and NDC are failure because of Yesubanya, Yadi NPP and NDC chi. Enti na ye fili sa. Afe wote masieba. Afe wote asiye. Mahama ntuaso.
Because the quality in situ is poor. And that is what Nana Jane was telling you, that we were trying to do something about by investing in the public basic schools. And we began to see the outcomes. The performance of the children at BEC continued to improve. And she was giving you some of the figures. But when you come to the secondary level, every parent struggles to send their children to the public school, not to private schools. And so we all struggle for the Accra Academies, Presec, and Falsipims, Adisadels of this world. And that is because quality at the secondary level is better in the public schools than in the private schools. Now, what we're doing with this huge influx into the secondary school system, because we want to implement free SHS in 3 years, is going to affect the quality of the public schools. And soon we're going to find a system where people lose faith in the public schools and everybody will pay to take his child to a private secondary school. That is the danger we're talking about. And I can tell you that your student loan plus scheme has been cancelled because there's no money to finance it. Because all the money is going into free SHS.
Wow. Sasemia.
You come to
Sasemia Mahama Ekanyi. Mahama was against Ekwanyana Ekufuado Namswa or the free SHS no eba. Now Ekufuado Edi Bawumia was all for it. So how can NPP and NDC be the same? Odie Wadjini. Vivian Odie Wadjini. Say, you can't free senior high school policy. Not John Dramani Mahama. NDC are doing a different. And Nana NPP so are doing a different. So how can they be the same? They can never be the same. And now once and so as our two party way, almost the same. No, not HSS bako ya chen bako. Because saminu mienu enya pedia and ye meaning same ye chen. And I say, oh ye chen me. Samino ye pedia na ye chen obi. But samino nya pedia meaning say bako ye papa chen bako. Ni make a follow. Because in about 8 or 9 years ago, problems are John Dramani Mahama and the two that today we are facing the same problem. Sambrano, Ekufuado enhu. Sambrano Bawumia never saw that problem. Problem was John Dramani Mahama making mention of some years ago. Today we are facing the same challenge. We are facing the same problem. Mahama can say, ekwan nkofo nam so yade sa free SHS no ba emwa Ghana in the long run ena de ebe popular ama Ghana for ato abama now so ekwa animu emwa Ghana in the long run and also today we are seeing the effect or the challenges because ebinum ko school 3 months but na fie be 2 months a challenge and kwada no be at the basic level no etebo so sua de a challenge and basic level nye now so ya tam Ghana Nesika say ya dey solve freeze senior high school challenge maye eno ka ho bi na ama Ekufuado kakosoro no eno ka ho bi na ama aban we me say e ka ho bi na ama Ekufuado afeli because we channeled most of our resources into a free senior high school system ebesine Ghana for cry completely say yen hu so faso it didn't say Adrena Mahama de buy was the best idea say yen kati biso na yen fa ebi solve the problem at the basic level suku adan iti Mahama timi ko gina otumfo anim e kire say we si suku adan ko over 13 in e-blocks in kwa be 13 e-blocks in kwa Mahama esi be 13 okumase asante memu ade obi ohwo a yenwene nkwa kire me Mahama nya mebusuani Ekufuado Bawumia omunya mebusuafo I don't know them anywhere me share Mahama da menya sabi o Mahama no onya me fada onya busuani nya me hwe it's about your interest as a voter me nim Ekufuado baabia me nim Bawumia baabia it's about my interest as a person as a voter e de na me pe every nkofo mienu yi ho bad man boga it's about Agadapori e de na ye pe free nkofo yi ho what do we want them to do for us end of story enya about say oyo nua nka wo mpe oyo fada nka wo mpe debi emfa ho baabia sabi emfa ho baabia oyo fada saying these are employees, these are government employees, these are civil servants. It's about what do we want them to do for us. E di enti na moto aba e ma san kofu. Na so omo ba na ebinumu jimia na yesa ta chese yesa to omo achi esa so omo so. So ampa say sanka eye Bawumia na Ekufuado. E na kra plant ne ba Ghana ha. And John Dramani Mahama kotam free takrade ba Kumasi and I say kotam free takrade eko hoa mameka ni ho kra bonye Kumasi ka the way be see di Mahama atem kromu ankenye binie. This is the problem we have. Sanka Ekufuado na edi kan kra plant ba Ghana solve dum so kosi takrade and anka John Dramani Mahama NDC aban tam ye free takrade ekosi hoa ka the way be see twaba NDC di Mahama atem enya binie. Now so Ekufuado ya de yakane boko ama atia koda. This is the problem we have and yet the need for any third force. This is the problem. Ekufuado ebo sa brane de yakane kude efiasem ho there be we de on say sa case we no eye nuanom asem eye fiasem nti no yenka ne bebre sa o eye o there be maka kakra bi eye o de hwe na yakata so. This is the problem you have. This is the problem I have. This is the problem we have. And yet the need for any third force. Yan change ye suban we ya third force kraba me say. Yes the suban we yes the suban we be sa ko ra third force num ama enkosi aga. Vivian America uti. Vivian say even if he is my father and he perform poorly, don't I have the lines? Me that say, or your father mpona say o Jimia, the performance in Koya. Why can't you say it? You see, yantia manyo semwase. Ye ka say omanya ye chichira yantia se. Eti abribiano ye the emotion the dinko ofiachi. And Ekufuado, or you're old enough to be your father. Hey, now we penina sebio o pe. And I say, oh pray Ghana kunya. Now say Emma Obia Kasentia Odia, Minia, Kotna Himfie, then don't become a president. You need to go and sit in Ahimfie, advise the small children. So officer, you are too big, you are too grown. Say Ghana for Bebo, what buying HDR, then presidency is not for you. Go and sit in Benshia. Go and sit in the palace of Eye Tobuya Fede. And I say, Domahine. Netun Kwadafu. These are public servants. These are people who came to serve. They are on salary. They are being paid for what they do. Esagoma. These are people who are being paid for what they do. These are public servants. They are here to serve. They are here to do things for you and I. So let us hold them accountable. Onobusiani, unim Mahama Bebia, unim Ekufadu Bawumia Bebia. These are public servants. These are fellow Ghanaians who want to manage our economy. Let us hold them accountable and stop defending them. Into the kind of pressure now. Yede to Mahama so e ma Mahama dwen ye e kra plan de say odeba Ghana asobi dum so no say yamfa the same pressure na anto Akufo-Addo so a ombo bra eno ntina ene Akufo-Addo ambo bra no because ye krokro no too much ye jeje no so too much akwase be ma e krokro ba o ye be ma yes o so krokro o yire na so say o krokro o yire too much a o yo ba wa jimi a o be sorry atena wo so o be take you for granted say be ma do ejimi fo. It in anything you do, don't overdo. That's the rule. The American will say, in anything you do, don't overdo. Okro about too much out now. So Obu say, we are Jiminy or Frewa Dimrika. Oh, who so fast? Also, Chen say, we are Bema. The same thing. Yet let us bring the same attitude into politics. Your problem. We have a mental problem. And a bema, and a bribia na my wife, a bribia want to my wife, want obusa wa Jimmy, obusa we tobele, we Jimmy ni, o sha bema, e to maybe or tiana, obe dinachi, obe jawe dinachi. The same thing to your penny for. Oba, or a chadao, a chadonko, yo, Mahamo, oba, not say, sebi, or who some what Jimmy are. They have the tendency to take you people for granted because they have seen that you are foolish. No matter what they do, you can penny for and you can for granted because they know say, Jimmy, you are going to resign. Not to waste about it. Or when you say, British Prime Minister, not say, Jimmy. Nobody will condone nonsense. They'll kick you out of power. It they are wide alert. They are there to serve their nation and not their interest. And so Ghana dear, and Pennyphone in Museo, and I say Ghana dear for Ghana dear, do whatever you want. And come and be a whole giant. Anyway, Omakasa, Peace FM, one Freemind Family name, Last Silence for Kasa, Chani 1 week, Ubia Betiada, in one more, a Jimmy for this is the mentality that they have. And Utina Akufo-Addo, catch them say, Ekumfi Esan say, Omo to abetia nini penti, and I almost yin any. Sasem no kayano, a American ka ultimate. A UK and empo or can less than 24 hours or the Nakunya betuo. Sasam nama mampeni kan you know. Say a UK and I say Japan and I say America baby no can less than 24 hours or the Nakunya betuo. And so acquire Ghana dear. Yes, Ghana for binum a defender. This is the problem we have. This is the problem we have as a people and not the need for any third force. So, tone, you can't pay into seven. Now, as a man penia or no sebi, you to be an local say, Mututia or no, Nini Pentina or no Suyi, and Nidi Mamono. Emma Mobre, now free say, UK, Prime Minister, ultimately can we that? Because the day that he makes such a comment, that very day, he'll be out of office. Naso Ghana de there be that. You better say defend it. Ye how pa no. Ye how nyina the tough ani nyina no. And yet the need for third force will be asem. That is our problem. It in kwadate for musua de Mahama kan ho asem. Ye di Mahama dem. Say Mahama Jimmy, Mahama ni mu nyansa. Meanwhile no, na John Dramani Mahama na ordin dachi. Mahama was thinking into the future. Mahama was thinking into the future. Said there be yentimi ko dey say in the long run. Emwa Ghana minor, emwa minor, emwa krono. Yante Mahama say yete na say crampo esan say na Mahama ye NDC ni SFS remunti ye di Mahama because ye mpe Mahama asem. Na Ghana for bebre na empe Mahama asem. Because say bia Mahama nyadi o debi because say Mahama NDC ni ceremony ti yempenasem na ye jimi ye hu wia ya sabe kire say NPP NDC boyenti ye petel force kwasiasem ye jimi se wia ni ya sabe kire say NPP NDC boyenti ye petel force ene sansem na cheda e kan no e nsem bi a obi aka dadada Kwame Nkrumah kan de chensa sansem na cheda e kan ne na yedi na chi na cheda Kwame Nkrumah o kan de chensa o ka kire mu say the independence of Africa is meaningless unless it is linked up with a total liberation of Africa. Idinatem etu na de so. Tiana na cheda e kan no enye bibia yenti bi dawo. South Africa Julius Malema wakan ye chensa. Ni acheda e kan Julius Malema wakan ye chensa. Na so the South Empo within South Africa krampo no yempen animu ahwe. Na so wakan ye chensa. Nia cheda eye it's nothing new. Nia cheda eye it's nothing new. Sane kasi ya osho ni adi sebi Ghana ha cheda nkwa na oka. Cheda nkwa na oka. Kwame Eyifie. Despite the fee, while packet cars bear almost 100. Emu 1874 car. Emu 91 car ni negu ni fee. Tizaka na o chane sa se boni jata na o kraba no. Enye bibia minia ebinsi Ghana dawo. Enye bibia obi hu bi dawo. There is nothing new under the sun. Ya tibia hu bia bre. Ena mi osika. Ena me de me ba na me yese na ya tibia bre. Edi asem ena ekufo ado anka. Na so ba ya mo so ne so ena ojimi ye no. Ena ne o tete amu a odi matemo no. Eye about ya dwena eda ye tiri mu no. Amano semu na ye ntiase na edi yenya. Ye jimi na ye didi sa nkofo ye chinti na edi yenya. Omo sai kuro no enye bibia yankasa ye jimi. Brother, yes your answer. Medamu nyina mase. No bab, medasi be Vivian Oponso, medasi. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll see you guys maybe later in the day. Meeting any chairman Freemind. Na make I will say abrochi na opa kwa company betimi aboa wane Bostep Travel and Tours. Bostep Travel and Tours opa abrochi kwa company na metimi chairman betimi atro say on betimi aboa obra omonye usika endi Bostep Travel and Tours. Say America na person ko say Europe Canada baby a person ko bia no Bostep Travel and Tours betimi aboa omon da down fa go see Libya baby ncho say bio ye do ko UK and say Germany debi omuji usika baby a person ko de hwa na de ko ndi omo number na da ho no opese o send omo message on WhatsApp +49 1573 925 6809 opese o friends so +233 249 745 631 opese o sa free bi mo so they have another number and also +44 791 929 2411 and our email and so brace2531@gmail.com from Sesiana na any omuni nkita ho omonko na ebetimi aboa ama wakonto da yeso no etimi abem obra sabio ye na ada wo enkasa ye do ko Switzerland enfan kongo say Swaziland and you know free almost sesia na any omuni nkomo bold step travel bold step travels bold step travels or say travel and see dream it and live it. Thank you so much. Medabu inawase. Bamifa munsia ya meeting any chairman Freemind. Have a nice time and take good care of yourself. Makram.
You come to the secondary level. Even though the constitution says we should do it progressively, I'll do it in 3 years. And that is the issue that we're pointing at. If you have a leg, the thigh is supposed to be bigger than the calf. If the calf becomes bigger than the thigh, then it means there's sickness in the leg. Because if you are spending most of your money on secondary education and less on tertiary and basic, then there's something wrong with your educational system. And so, the government has budgeted 2 billion cedis for free SHS for this academic year. If you have 2 billion more to spend on education, will you spend all of it on free SHS so that even when people can afford to pay, they don't have to pay? Because today there's no system where if my child goes to a public secondary school and I can afford to pay, there's no system for me to pay. And so that ad hoc approach to education is something that is dangerous, because in education there are three most important things. The first and most important is quality. What is the use of education if the quality is poor? Why is it that at the basic level every parent struggles to take his child to a private school? Because nobody wants their child to go to Saito, because the quality in Saito is poor. And that is what Nana Jane was telling you that we were trying to do something about by investing in the public basic schools. And we began to see the outcomes. The performance of the children at BEC continued to improve. And she was giving you some of the figures. But when you come to the secondary level, every parent struggles to send their children to the public school, not to private schools. And so we all struggle for the Accra Academies, Presec, and Fansipims, Adisadels of this world. And that is because quality at the secondary level is better in the public schools than in the private schools. Now, what we're doing with this huge influx into the secondary school system, because we want to implement free SHS in 3 years, is going to affect the quality of the public schools. And soon we're going to find a system where people lose faith in the public schools and everybody will pay to take his child to a private secondary school. That is the danger we're talking about. And I can tell you that your student loan plus scheme has been cancelled because there's no money to finance it. Because all the money is going into free SHS.